Hey, thanks for clicking on the video. This is going to be another episode of Reforge Gaming News talking about Halo Infinite Season 2, the live stream they did doing a bit of a recap, also saying how I think they can fix the game. Want to take a more positive approach here because I do think they're doing good things, but there's a lot of foundational things they could do that would significantly help the game improve. If you like these videos, if you like my content, make sure you're subscribed, make sure you hit the bell button, make sure you check your subscriber feed in my channel every day. We go live Monday through Friday around 9 a.m. Eastern. We do 2 talk shows a day most of the time. Also consider using any of the ways below to support the channel directly. We would love to see membership continue to rise. If we get 500 members on the channel, my wife will have to play Elden Ring on one of the members only streams on Friday night. So consider clicking join or using the member link in the description below. You can also order coffee or use my discount code at 80s Tees. All those links are below. So thank you to everybody who continues to support the channel directly in those ways. Let's get sort of right into the meat of what I think before we do the live discussion. This is a Reforge update. Halo Infinite Season 2 had a community live stream that led many people somewhat encouraged but also continually feeling that sense of disappointment, and I wanted to do a video briefly sort of recapping what was in that stream and then moving to what I think could be ways to fix this game and improve it. If you like these quick updates, hit subscribe and the bell button or head over to Reforge Gaming where I streamed this live. So they walked through a handful of things during this live stream, talking about all the things they're still working on, things they want to see improved. Joseph Staten saying things like campaign co-op looks good, and that when Forge finally lands, it will launch with a full host of features, and they are committed to the Forge launch in beta because they want people to get their hands on it right away. They also showed the Season 2 Battle Pass, just kind of combing through and looking at the rewards. That's sort of up to you whether or not you think those rewards look good. They also released a Season 2 story trailer, and the Season 2 story trailer is really, I think, showing hints and clues at something that I predicted a while ago with how they were going to handle the content, how they were going to handle the updates. It looks as though the Spartans are coming back from being sort of in battle out in the field, and they are wearing some of the custom armor that you've seen in the promotional artwork and the promotional trailers and things for Season 2, The Lone Wolves. I had said that you were going to start actually going out into the world and the story missions as your Spartan, mainly because Joseph Staten said that in an interview, and that would be one of the driving ways to create loyalty and interest in the world of Halo with your actual Spartan rather than Master Chief. It seems that's already sort of taking place in this next season. That remains to be seen once those missions come out and once they are detailed. So I think we're seeing glimpses and hints in how this game can progress and move on, but I want to talk about, I think I have, 5 foundational things that they can do to fix this game. Number 1, you simply must shorten the seasons. This is foundational. I think this is underneath everything in the game. This touches on the battle pass, the progression system, the sense of earn rate. It touches on the events anytime that they do one, with the cosmetics and the reason to log in and play. Season length is the absolute starting place that must be shortened. Doesn't matter how much good they do or how great things look. I think season length is undercutting anything that they try to improve with this game. The second thing they need to do is increase the cadence of value. Now, they have that commitment. They said these drop pods will be coming monthly with quality of life updates as well as content updates. We don't know exactly the substance of those content updates, but they did indicate that that was going to be something happening on a monthly basis. That's encouraging. You need to increase the cadence of value. How often is the game getting something? How often is it getting something to do or an update or a fix? Third, they need to adjust the rhythm of progression and reward. This is significantly linked to the seasonal length. You have to adjust the rhythm of progression and reward. You need to feel like there's a reason to log in. You need to feel like a long play session is worth doing. It doesn't necessarily feel that way right now, and the long season sees significant player drop-off because of that. When that rhythm and progression and that sense of reward is adjusted and bettered, you will see better player base numbers long term. Fourth, you need to tie the PvP and PvE together in a compelling way. This actually seems to be the first step in that direction in Season 2 of Halo Infinite. There needs to be this sense of reward, a sense of progression for your Spartan. The world's expanding, the story's evolving, and you are in it. That's one of the things that will be pivotal in fostering loyalty and that sense of, I need to go back every single season and get the things and work on the story and increase my Spartans, customization or rank or level. If you don't take the PvP and PvE and tie it together in a compelling way, significant elements of the story and things they're trying to take center stage. I mean, this is a cinematic trailer for Season 2. It seems to be a priority. They need to be better woven together. Lastly, and fifth, all of these things are foundational to lift up future seasons, updates, and modes. They need to be looking at all future seasons, events, cosmetics, modes, maps, anything they're adding, and ask the question, is the rhythm of reward appropriate? Is the sense of length and progression good? Is that something that's going to foster the players coming back every season? That, in my mind, is what has to be done to fix Halo Infinite. You have to get underneath of it and make all these changes in order to lift up everything else that you're doing. As always, be sure to hit subscribe and the bell button so you don't miss my uploads, and check me out on Reforge Gaming where I stream these discussions live, and I will see you in the next video. And I'll see the rest of you right now. Good morning, good afternoon, and good evening. We spiked up into like 20-something viewers on TikTok. I don't know if that was because we just went live or what, so thank you for being here over there on TikTok, smashing the like button. Good to see you, M. Baker. Good to see you, Seraph M. Rudy, Creed, and Anime Web says, can you sing Happy Birthday? No, I won't be doing that. I'm not doing the whole dance, monkey dance thing, all right? Yeah, we hit 14,000 subs here on YouTube. If you're in YouTube, man, hit the like button. Make sure and switch to live chat. And I want to know what you think about the stream yesterday, about the information coming out from 343 about Season 2. Is it enough to really give you that sense of progression, that sense of, I need to come back, I want to play this game, I want to be fully committed? We had 28. Oh, that's nice. Yo, what's good, Frowley? Good morning, everybody. Grizzly Johnson, good to see you. Hey, Old Soul, happy Thursday. Good to see you, Victor. Good to see you, Lewis. Jacob says, do you have ads on your stream? Because I get one ad every time your stream started, but I don't get ads within your streams. Ads within my streams is something I have to push a button and run. I only do that when I step away. I do not have ads running throughout the stream. That would be incredibly disruptive. Go through that morning ritual, guys, of smashing the like button on YouTube. We need 16 more for the first 100. Still haven't reinstalled, says Call Me Diffused. I'm ready to start getting back into Halo, says Big Mad Mo. Nerd Mother says happy Thursday, I'm sorry. Happy Thursday to you. Hey, good to see you, Slow Mobius. The stream yesterday was awesome, especially radio. Oh, thank you, Donovan. I appreciate that. Good morning, Heavy Metal Mama. Good to see you. Good to see you there. It's a few points away from me being interested in being committed to the game on an emotional level. Well, what do you guys think about my prediction about this story trailer? Do you think I'm right? Did they intentionally show you Spartans coming back from a mission, all of them sort of wearing the armor that they're putting center stage for the Halo Infinite Season 2 Lone Wolves, like, promotional items? Like, if you've seen any of those wallpapers or pictures, they have, like, the 3 Spartans wearing the armor. Well, they come back from a mission and they're wearing that armor. Do you think I'm right? Are they going to start sending us out? Is this the season where it begins, where we go out and we're playing as our Spartan? We are no longer playing as Master Chief. I played some Halo last night, had a pretty good time. When's the BR releasing? There is no date for Halo Battle Royale. We have no idea when that's coming. I don't think it's coming this year, personally. Maybe holiday would be a good time to push it. That's a tough time to do anything, right? Yo, thank you for sending a gamepad, J Main, over on TikTok. I appreciate that. I ordered a cable and an adapter, so I'll be able to see when those things happen in real time over here on TikTok. But thank you for that. I appreciate you doing that. And Big Mad Mo says the drop pods are what I said they were. I'm not giving you that one yet, Mo, because they haven't delivered them. They said that they'll be monthly quality of life updates with content updates, but we have no idea what that means. That could literally be them rotating a mode. That could be them, you know, rotating maps in and out. That doesn't necessarily mean you're getting substantive content every single month. Yo, what's good, Feed? I see you in the chat over on YouTube. Creed Music says, I would love to play as my Spartan. I love Master Chief, but the feeling of being myself would be awesome. I do think that's the thing they want to do going forward. I think that's what those actual different armor cores are for. I think they want you to think of your Spartan in that way, a customizable character that you take into the world and level up and get new things for. Crazy week for me. Hope you and the fam are great. Thank you, Old Soul. Good morning and congratulations on hitting 14K. Thank you, J Murph. When do you think, says Mo, the retirement is going to happen? I give it to the close of the campaign, and then it's all us. What do you think? I think this next season, Mo, I think the reason it's called Lone Wolves, I think the reason that they have that trailer set up the way that they do, this is the season. They're sending you out into the Halo world and Halo Infinite as your Spartan. That's what they're doing. They want it. This is what that cutscene is about. That's what that cinematic is about, right? Yeah, I don't know what to think of that teaser, Paul. Does anybody know or have any clues or data mines or their theories about the weird teaser in the middle of the stream where like there's like the screen glitches out and something gets downloaded? Xbox and Bethesda showcase confirmed for June 12th. Oh, really? Okay, so that's probably going to be the big Starfield. Our second stream of the day today is about Starfield. I will be arguing that I think Starfield is the new Xbox flagship. I actually think what's happening with Halo is playing a part, but I also think there's elements of Starfield and what they're doing and how they're talking about it. I actually think that is the clues that we need. I think they're going forward with it being their new flagship. I don't think Halo is the flagship anymore. That's not me slamming Halo. That's just me making predictions about what I feel Microsoft is doing with their platform. Also, that was crazy, says Mo. What was crazy? Oh, so you think it's going to be intertwined with both multiple and solo? Yeah, I think their goal is to take the Halo Infinite story and the expanding world and story. I think it's going to be interwoven with the multiplayer. Joseph Staten all but said that in an interview before the game even launched. Matanagi, good to see you. Finally able to be awake for the show. How you doing, Lono and Chatterino? It's good to see you, Matanagi. Is that just going to be an ad for Xbox, you Sony shill? Xbox now have flagships, not a flagship. Oh, I think Starfield's going to be the central. I think it's going to be the first among equals. It will be like the flagship. That's what I think. I'm not saying there won't be other ones, Hilly, but I think Starfield is being backed as the big one. That's what I think. I think that their goal with Starfield is bigger than, like, if you think about everything that went into the buyout and all that. But again, I don't want to cannibalize the second show. You have to be awake for this show? I was sleeping at work. Good morning, Geek to Sneak. Good to see you guys. Make sure you're smashing the like button as you come in. Make sure you're subscribed if you want to talk in chat. Are they saving the reveal for the story integration for a big reveal? Why haven't they announced something like that? It's possible that they don't think it's that big of a deal right now because it'll be fairly minor. But Joseph Staten, again, he indicated these things in an interview and talked about how you are going to go out in the world as your Spartan. You're going to go out and do things as your Spartan. That's the way they're going to be doing it. Creed Music says on TikTok, I feel if they do this right, it would feel like Outriders, but better if done correctly. Right. I mean, Outriders wasn't even a live service game. It looks like it might sort of morph itself into being a live service game. But I agree. I think a game where you take your character and you go out in the world and you venture and do these sort of missions, I actually think that's an incredibly winsome way to foster organic loyalty to a game. So I think you're right. The Halo TV series is not as good as Halo Infinite. Oh yeah, the TV series is getting kind of ripped up. Also, it's rumored that Xbox are working on another Star Wars game by a source on Twitter, which, a name I don't remember. Yeah, apparently it's going to be Mandalorian, and it's being worked on by Who's working on it? I forget. We looked at that and almost ran that story today, but it's so rumor late. There's nothing there. There's nothing substantive to it. Rissick with a $20 tip through Super Chat on YouTube. Thank you so much. Appreciate that. Don't forget to start your day with some Rageless Roast, guys. I got mine the other day. Thanks for that. Thank you, Rissick, for the $20 tip. If you guys are coffee drinkers and you have never had coffee with balanced acidity, you should definitely check out Rageless Roast. We have a light roast and a dark roast. They're the same base flavor. It's like honey undertoned coffee, sweet and very drinkable, but the balanced acidity is the reason to try it because, again, if you've never had coffee with balanced acidity, give it a try. You can use the coffee command in chat or go to ragelessroast.com to order some. Nistra says, seems like it's introducing the BR, but you as your own Spartan going into the Halo world, Zeta Halo, with the Battle Royale rumored to be heavily tied to. So you think that story cutscene that they showed, the Halo Infinite Season 2 story trailer, you think that trailer is them sort of hinting at the Battle Royale? I don't know about that. I really, really don't. Reforge Roast when? Well, slow down. ZeniMax Online. Oh, that's who it is. The rumor, yes, is that ZeniMax is working on a Star Wars game as an exclusive Xbox title. Yeah. Imori says the coffee is very smooth. 10 out of 10 would recommend. Creed Music says on TikTok, he says, also the Halo ring is so big they could expand it almost infinitely. Haha, that's very good. A list of some of the plans for, hang on. So this is coming from Twitter account Delta News, Halo Infinite leaks and news. List of some of the plans foreseen for Season 2. Forge beta access in September. Campaign mission replay in August. Campaign network co-op in August. Narrative events May 3rd through 16th and July 19th through August 1st, and much more. So it sounds like the narrative events, if this tweet and leak is to be believed, Halo Infinite narrative events will be taking place May 3rd through 16th and July 19th through August 1st. I mean, listen, I said this morning, I listed 5 things they need to do to fix this game, all right? If you want to fix Halo Infinite, you need to do these 5 things. I'll list them for you again. You must shorten the seasons. That simply must happen. That is a non-negotiable. It undercuts everything, okay? It undercuts everything. You must increase the cadence of value. Now, I know a 6-month season is super long, okay? But listen to everything I just read in that tweet, and I want you to imagine what this would do to the cadence of value if the season was 3 months long. They're offering Forge beta access, a campaign mission replay feature, campaign network co-op, 2 different narrative events that span a couple of weeks each. If you take all those things and you spread them out over 3 months, the cadence of value would feel amazing. I'm telling you right now, they are not done. Halo Infinite is certainly not done. They have the right, I think, tools, ideas, and vision. But if you can't increase cadence of value and decrease season length, you simply will not have a successful live service game, okay? You're excited to try the dark roast today, says Creed Music. I love the light roast, so smooth, no need for creamer. Yeah, I'm drinking dark roast this morning myself. I put a little Italian sweet cream in it. I'm a big creamer guy for coffee, and I gotta tell you, I need to use almost none in our coffee. So again, if you're a coffee drinker and you've never had coffee with balanced acidity, you should check ours out. That's not a sponsor, by the way. That's ours. Like, my wife and kids ship it to you, all right? You're supporting a small business. Where can you get that creamer? It's just normal Coffee Mate creamer. It should be any grocery store. Italian sweet cream is the type. What brand? Yeah, Coffee Mate. They want to do 3-month seasons, but I think this is the first year didn't go as planned. Dark Roast Best Roast, says Mo. You think the multiplayer story is leading to the co-op campaign? It's possible it's leading to the co-op campaign, Mo, or it's completely unrelated, right? It's completely unrelated. I don't think campaign co-op is coming as a necessary sort of tie-in to what's going on. What's good, Bell 5900? How are you? I hit that like button for a minute straight over there on TikTok. Thank you, Pit Viper, for doing that. There's already 7,000 likes over there. Viewership's trending up over there, too. Thanks for watching and consuming the content on TikTok. Thank you for all of you who watch and consume the content here on YouTube. We continue to have strange things happen. So, again, make sure if you're like, man, I haven't seen your streams, always check your sub feed in my channel every day, Monday through Friday. We do these talk shows. If you're subbing for the first time today to talk in chat, we'd love to meet you and hear what you think about this. Now, Creature said this last night. I don't agree with him, but he's like, I think the cadence for seasons is 6 months going forward. I don't think that is true. And I think I'm fairly confident they've confirmed that that's not true. That is not what they want to do long term. It would make sense, though, says Mo, because you know only one chief. Oh, right. Well, no, that's not a bad point, Mo. They may be laying the groundwork right now. When does Season 2 start? I think May 3rd. I think that's the date, like right at the beginning of May. That's next week. Do we know offhand, at least ballpark, what games had the longest seasons and what's the shortest usually run for? 6 months would work if the game was robust, at least in my imagination. The shortest seasons are 3 months, and 4 months is sometimes, you might see that. 6 months is very, very, it's not typical. It's very atypical. My doctor told me not to drink coffee as soon as I wake up, wait for 2 to 3 hours. The first thing you should do every time you wake up in the morning is drink a nice tall glass of water. You always want to do that. Before you eat breakfast, drink coffee, do anything. Drink a nice tall glass of water. It makes a huge difference in your day, your digestive system. That is like the easiest thing you can do to help your body. Seriously. All those weirdos that constantly tweet drink water, I'm not one of those people that, says some weird empty platitude for easy clicks on Twitter. But seriously, drink a glass of water in the morning the minute you wake up, or make that the first thing you consume. You can take your shower and all that. Eugene says they've definitely been harping on the priority zero stuff a lot, almost like they're planning on another on either 6-month seasons or lighter 3-month seasons going forward. Yeah, that is concerning. So we made a prediction the other day. I didn't really appreciate in the Halo Waypoint blog when they said, hey, we have priority zero, we're not going to do crunch. I didn't feel that was necessary in the conversation to invoke that. I really don't think that is needed. I don't think that is a significant thing. I mean, I'm sorry. I think it's a significant thing, but I don't think it holds significance when you're announcing the next season and you're talking about the lack of content or you're talking about the lack of features. I just don't think so. Diablo 3 season lengths reduced as time went on. Yeah, I think that's true. I don't know how long the Diablo seasons are. If it's true it'll be 6-month seasons, the game will not survive long. Yeah, we predicted this the other day. We said that when they brought up that priority zero in the blog about the next season, that it was going to be sort of weaponized as, hey guys, let's just support 343 and really be there for them. We don't want any crunch. And it happened. Someone on Reddit made a post that basically said that. He's like, you're essentially telling people that if you want more content, you want crunch, which I think is incredibly passive and unfair. I don't think that's a fair way to shape the argument, right? I probably bought like 6 bags of Frickmas. Oh, you guys really like the Frickmas blend? Well, the holiday blend will be back this holiday season, don't you worry. Every 6 months should be major content drops, but who knows? Says Big Mad Mo. I think 6 months is way too spread out. Way too spread out. If you want to do really, really big story beats or story missions every 6 months, okay, but the seasons themselves cannot be that long. Everything is related to the seasonal length. Everything is related to it. How much you can get in an event, how many times that event shows up, how much they have to slow you down on the event. That's just the events themselves. The monthly events are harmed by the current season length. They're harmed by it. You take all the time to create a new mode, maps, or new rewards, for your samurai event as an example, and then the rhythm and the cadence of when you can get the items is awful. It is truly horrible. You have to shorten the seasons. The other thing I said this morning is increase cadence of value. Those two things are interwoven, man. If you can shorten the season length, you already have increased the cadence of value. You're getting more value more often and at a quicker pace. You need to adjust the rhythm of progression and reward on the battle pass and in the events. This is definitely linked to number 1 as well. This is linked to shortening the season length. It's shortening the season length. If you want that seasonal length to be shortened, you are going to get a bunch of other benefits from it. You are going to increase the cadence of value. You are going to adjust the rhythm problems with the battle pass, the rhythm problems with progression in an event. The first season was 159 days in Diablo 3, and now it averages about 70. Yeah, I would imagine they're going to do something similar here, Hilly. They'll start sliding it back. I bet you season 3 is 4 months long. I bet you season 3 is 4 months long. It drops down from whatever we are now, 160 some odd days, down to 120 days. That'll be their first adjustment. That's my only issue is a long season, says J-Main over on TikTok. It takes way too long to unlock everything. Let's take a look at this new method, but I do agree 3 months is what I would like. Until they fix progression, says Victor, I'm out. I simply cannot log in every day. Parkour says, also agreed, they are taking this slow, but the 6-month season's too long. 7 years of dev, and they're giving us 1 new map, an arena, and BTB. That's not acceptable. I thought it was 2 new maps and 2 new modes. A $5 tip through YouTube Super Chat from Mr. Glum. 4-month seasons, slow is smooth and smooth is fast. Thank you for the $5 tip. Hey, guys, we're trying to get 500 members on the channel, so my wife has to play Elden Ring. We need I don't even know. I think we need 40 members, maybe. If you've never done a member on YouTube, it's $5 a month. You click the join button, or you can click the link below in the description, or type !join in the chat. $5 a month. Yeah, we need literally 40 members, and my wife has to play Elden Ring. So consider becoming a member. Members only stream this afternoon. It's an extra stream. You can ask me anything. I know you guys have probably got spicy questions about the purple platform and what was announced. I bet we get into it over there, right? That's gaming related. Save those questions for the Thursday member stream this afternoon. Become a member today if you want to submit those questions. And then Friday night streams with my wife, drinks, laughs, and community game night is one of those Fridays every month. Maddie Jarvis with a $5 tip through Super Chat. We could eventually see a PvE mode with our Spartans similar to Strikes. That could work in Halo's sandbox. Oh, I 100% agree with you. I think that's an intended plan. I do. I think they want you to think of your Spartan as your character in the game that you're going out into the world with, that you're going and doing things with. 100%, yes. Nothing on purple was announced, was rumored. I'm sorry, I used the wrong word. You're right. It was rumored, but I'm sure you guys want my take on it, and I look forward to giving it to you. Giggity. 6 months could work, says Derek, if there was a boon of content. 343 is stuck now. If they can't magically churn out quality content, the seasons are going to be sparse no matter the length. That's one of the challenges with suddenly increasing how often value and cadence happens. It also is rough when you shorten your season length, because what you're doing is you're giving them less time to work on content, which means you're shortchanging what you're going to get anyway. I do want to say this, gamers can argue for things that are counterproductive. Give me this and give me this now. Well, okay, here, but it's not done yet. Put a pizza in the oven and your kids get so hungry they demand you pull it out right now. Well, here's a doughy, gross mess, right? You can sometimes ask for things that are counterproductive. And in this scenario, okay, I do think you can push too hard for them to fix things. So it's one thing to say, Halo Infinite needs to fix these issues. They need to shorten season length. They need to increase cadence of value. They need to adjust progression rhythm and rewards on events and the battle pass. They need to offer more in the realm of loyalty driving incentives, taking PvE and PvP and interweaving them more together, okay? Saying that while also saying, hey, take your time and do it right. It's better for them to do it slow and do it right than to rush it and compound the problem. There's nothing worse than trying to fix something and making it worse. Right now, you're just sort of staying the tide. You're kicking the can down the road. A $5 tip from my man Creed. He's in both platforms, TikTok and YouTube. Says, join the Join and buy some coffee. Let's get those likes up, chat, says Creed. If you guys are enjoying the conversation, do me a favor, smash the like button. We need 50 more likes for the next milestone of 200 likes. Everybody over on TikTok, smashing the like button. You're amazing. Who's going to be the first coffee order of the day? Who's going to be the first member of the day? Let's see. Let's watch and see. Big Mad Mo says, the drop pods are there for content to drop when it's ready on a monthly basis. Okay, now show me. I'm with you, Mo. I'm with you on that. Well, cool, man. Drop pods. Monthly quality of life updates and content delivery. Okay, show me. Because if your content delivery every month, this is the concern, Mo. I don't want to be cynical here, but my concern is these drop pods arrive anytime a new event starts, and they make like minor updates to the game, minor tweaks and patches, and then that's the content drop is the event. They were doing events every month in the first season, were they not? That's my concern. I'm not saying that's what they're going to do, but my concern is that's what they have in mind. Oh yeah, every month here's your drop pod. It's a freaking season with a patch. You know what I'm saying? Yeah, armor core shaders. I'm not saying they're going to do that. My concern is that would be a very easy punt to say, oh well, here's your monthly content drop. Here's your monthly drop pod. What are the chances they are kicking the can but holding on to content for a massive drop later, says Butters. That's unacceptable. Mo, I'm not saying they will, but if they do, I think we gotta hold them for that. We gotta hold them accountable and say that's not acceptable. That's not enough. Yeah, I don't know, Butters, if they've got some whale of an update that they're sitting on and this is them biding their time. Matanagi says next week's Season 2 will be another massive and important test for 343's promises. We will see if they will hold to their word on Battle Pass sticking around or if it turns out to be another lie. I don't want to create a dialogue that they're lying. I don't get the impression that they're lying. I've not felt lied to once. I felt disappointed. I felt like they're a little mismanaged and they lack vision and direction. But I don't know if I felt like they've lied to me. As an example, the Halo Battle Pass, that's sticking around. What would they benefit by saying that and not doing that? Not to mention, isn't that the format for Master Chief Collection? Doesn't the Halo Master Chief Collection Battle Pass already function in that way? That's not like a new concept that they suddenly have trotted out as a value point that like, oh yeah, you can keep your battle pass and work on it later. Here's the issue with the battle pass being kept for forever though. See, this is another example of why seasonal length matters so much. Right now, imagine telling somebody that when Season 2 starts, hey, no worries, did you miss out on Season 1? You can go back and work on it. Who is going to do that? The sense of the progression length, how slow it is to work your way through a battle pass completely undercuts the value point of the battle pass sticking around. Does that make sense? In other words, it's great to come out and say, battle passes are sticking around, folks. No more FOMO. That's awesome. But when the battle pass progression is so slow, you undercut that value point. Don't you see? That's why that's the first thing I list. That's foundational to everything. If you want to fix cadence of value, if you want to fix the sense of progression, if you want to fix your events, if you want to fix Halo Infinite, you must shrink the season length. That is almost a requirement at this point. And I think Season 3 will be 4 months long. I think they'll do it slowly. A $5 tip from East Coast Overlord. I figured out how to use TikTok without installing. Just super chat Lono. It's easy. Let's get the likes up in both places, says East Coast Overlord. TikTok, they're challenging you over here on YouTube. A $20 tip from Colton. I can't find the join button on mobile, sadly. I've been listening the past couple of weeks while working on Spotify, and I love the content and talks. Finally able to catch a live, and I just wanted to say keep up the amazing streams. I absolutely love hearing that, Colton. Did you find me on Spotify randomly, or were you already sort of following me before, or are you sort of a new fan? I hate the word fan. You're a new listener. You're a new, I don't know, a new patron, I guess, of the content. Fan sounds so stupid and arrogant. I just don't like saying it. You can buy old battle passes. That's the reason it's there, to milk the consumer with FOMO. Shake my head. Oh, don't you do that, Reckless. No. Don't invert that into a negative. I completely disagree with you doing that. It is actually very, very consumer friendly to say, hey, you can always go back and get that original battle pass if you want. That's not them being greedy. See, the problem with that is, Reckless, you would say the other thing. If they made Season 1 only available in Season 1, you would say they're trying to milk the consumer with FOMO because they're going to fear they're going to miss out. They're going to buy everything. They're going to spend money. They're going to buy boosts. They're going to buy XP doublers so they can blast their way through the Battle Pass because it's going to go away if they don't. Do you see what I'm saying? I don't think you can say it both ways. You got to pick a side. It's either FOMO and money hungry to use a season to drive engagement and to drive people to, to spend money, or it's not. Colton says, I found you randomly on Spotify while searching for new podcasts to listen to. Oh, well, that's encouraging. That's awesome. That's also not FOMO. FOMO would be never getting it. Yeah, you can't invoke FOMO. Can you not buy progression on the pass? Sure you can, but you can't call that FOMO. FOMO is not driving somebody to go back and engage with Season 1 and spend money. That's simply untrue. FOMO, the principle of that phrase, FOMO, fear of missing out. There's no fear of missing out there. They can do it whenever they want. Fear of missing out is the idea of you're going to miss out. Better play, better spend money, better play, better spend money. So I'm sorry. I reject the notion. I do. I think the Battle Pass needs help. I think Cadence of Value needs help. But I reject the notion that they're using FOMO by keeping the Battle Passes around all the time. I don't think that's a fair assessment of what they're doing. Magical Fat Guy with 8 months of membership over here on Reforge Gaming on YouTube. Good morning, everybody. How are we fixing Halo today? Eugene says, Lono, I wonder if it's a concern, though, and it leads to longer seasons. You can't get people to buy old seasons if they don't have time to finish the current. Oh, so you think it's related. If it's a concern, then it leads to longer seasons. No. What you would do, Eugene, is you would just shorten the needed XP for every level. That's a very easy adjustment. Like, let's say they shorten Season 3, Eugene, and the fear is, oh, well, if anybody wants to go back and do Seasons 1 and 2, they're not going to have enough time. Season 3 is 4 months long. It's shorter. That's going to, we have to keep the seasons long. No. All you got to do is shorten the Battle Pass progression by saying it's less XP for every level. That's what they should honestly do. By the time you get to Season 3, you should be able to fly through Season 1's Battle Pass if you want. Make it take like a fifth of the original XP or something. Does that make sense? Like, what good? What good does it to be like, oh yeah, it's going to be a real long time? Like, you can add a multiplier on old seasonal battle passes. I think that's fair. Hello, Team Double Stream. This is Aaron. Yo, what's good, Aaron? Good to see you. Yemi Watkins. Well, yeah, if you're reasonable. I would imagine they'd be reasonable. Don't they want to have the value actually be a sticking point for people? Don't you want people logging in every season and feeling like they're being treated well? Like, I don't know. That's a solution that we would come up with. Mr. Pineapple Gaming says, to be honest, if it was faster to upgrade the pass, it would be better, but the challenges do slow you down. But I do got to give it to them. Their pass is better than Season 1, and they give way more. I actually saw that the Halo Infinite Season 2 Battle Pass was being praised as being better by the community. I did see that. I saw a couple of YouTubers who were being critical about Season 2, and they were saying the Battle Pass is better. I thought the one guy made a really, really great point. I forget his name. He said, you gotta give the free guys more. He said, you gotta give the free guys more. He said, free players become spending players in an instant. He's like, it can be super, super fast. It was Halo Infinite Season 2 community stream, and he did like some feedback. What's his name? Shoot. I want to say it's like J something. It's not Mind Blitz. I watched his video last night, and now I'm having trouble finding it. But that's basically what he said was, he was like, man, you gotta give the free players more. He's like, free players become spending players. And I actually thought it was pretty good logic. I thought what he said, made sense to me. I was like, yeah, I actually don't have a problem with giving a little bit more to the free players in the hopes that you kind of convert them into spending players. I thought he did a good job. No, Sean W. I watched his video last night. Sean W. on YouTube covers a lot of covers a lot of Halo content. And his coverage of the Halo Infinite Season Battle Pass, I thought it made sense. He was like, listen, he was like, you got to give the free guys more. Free players become spending players. And I actually think he's very correct. I think he's correct in what he was saying. Name for fans: Forgites, Forgers, Forgians, Regorge, Forgeteers. Shut up. Can get 2 levels a day just playing 5 matches and complete no other challenges. Oh yeah, the match. But here's the problem with the match XP, Doom Reaper. Okay, here's the problem with how they do the Halo Infinite Battle Pass with respect to that, like, per game XP. All right. You can play your 5 games a day. I think I did the math and it was 4. You can play 4 games a night, 5 days a week, and you will level up 4 times. Right? You will level up 4 times. Two levels, and then a little bit more, and then 2 levels. You level up 4 times. If you play all 20 games on a Saturday, you will level up less than twice. You get like 1750 or something. Now, that's not doing challenges, okay? That's not doing challenges. But that system is fundamentally broken because you get depreciating returns for a long play session. That is quite literally the worst way to treat a player base when you want the funnel to be full and you want loyalty to be organic. You are essentially disincentivizing people from playing your game after so many matches. Like, I cannot stress this enough. That is a horrible way to design progression in a video game. You couldn't dream up a worst way to treat the player. You couldn't. Because think about it. If your progression system was just terrible and awful and you couldn't earn anything, well, then nobody would play. So it's got to be good enough that people come and play. So this is just good enough that people come and play, and then it fundamentally disincentivizes people from playing. You get a depreciating return from playing beyond the 4th and the 5th game. I'm telling you right now, if you try to dream up a worse system, you can't. It is the absolute worst way to foster loyalty. Because you work all week, and this is meant to be your escape. This is meant to be your leisure. And so you're going to plow through 20 games on a Saturday, and you don't want to after the 5th or 6th game. You would have been better off adjusting your schedule around the game, adjusting your life around the game, and playing 4 or 5 games a night, Monday through Friday. They give us XP, and it goes to nothing. Just put it towards the pass. But it's that easy. Just put it towards the pass. Right. Like, just let me keep playing if that's when I can play. This affects the events as well. This is why I'm like, if you want to fix Halo Infinite, I'm telling you, step number 1, right now, if I'm Joseph Staten, I am telling them, priority 1, like priority 0 is no crunch, good for you. You don't treat your employees like crap. I don't give you a ribbon for that, by the way, 343. I don't give any company a ribbon for that. Hey, we treat our employees well. Shut up. You should. That's not a bragging point, okay? Who walks out and says that they don't, I don't beat my children? Well, good for you. You're above the bare minimum of expectations. Mini rant about priority 0. Quit invoking that. No one wants to hear about your priority 0. That's the minimum expectation for employee treatment. You don't need to brag about it. Okay? No, so priority 1 for season 3. Priority 1 for season 3 is, what can we do to shorten the length of the season? Because it affects everything. It affects exactly what we're talking about right now. The XP per game can go up. That one more game. Have you ever felt that? Oh, one more game. You see a little bar almost fill. You see a little thing almost fill. You've almost got this thing. One more game. I felt one more game, for Pete's sakes. I have felt this in Fall Guys, for crying out loud. I have felt the need to do one more game in Fall Guys. Because why? It ends the game. The little meter fills. If I fill it a little bit more, I'll get a cool new unlock. I have felt the one more game thing before. It's why, despite loving the game, I heavily dislike Warframe daily standing cap, an important progression system, flat out paused you when you hit the rep cap till the next day's reset. Yeah, that they want that daily engagement. Chris Rock said it. I take care of my kids. What do you want, a cookie? Yeah, I said that the other day. I was like, what do you want, a cookie? What do you mean? That's what you're supposed to do. Like, no, you don't get credit for that. I think it's a real sign of a lack of health in the industry that, like, that's a bragging point. M. Baker says, reward my time on TikTok. I felt one more game since old school COD. Oh, the tickles in my... Yeah, exactly. The weekly challenges create the one more game in Halo Infinite. No, they simply don't. All right, I want to... Okay, chat, if you have played Halo Infinite, let's test this. Have you ever felt you needed one more game because of the weekly challenges? Because I, for one, this is what I did, Hilly. This is one of the good... So there's good and bad with weekly challenges, okay? So I'm going to say the good. The good thing about the weekly challenges is a handful of them can be done relatively quickly. They can be done in 4 or 5 games, okay? Then what happens? Then all of a sudden, the weekly challenges want you to go do something that you don't want to do. Go play this game mode. Go over here into this funnel. Go do this. No. I don't want to do that. It doesn't drive me to do one more game. Why? Because in 4 or 5 games, I get the easy ones done, Hilly. That's the problem. What you're saying would be correct if the weekly challenges were just tied to whatever I was doing. But I typically knock out, a handful of weekly challenges that are relatively easy, and I do that in the 4 or 5 games. So I'm no longer getting good XP on the matches. Why? I've done my 4 or 5 games. I've knocked out the low-hanging fruit weekly challenges, and what's left? Going into other modes. They send you all over the game. If you like all the game, it's not an issue. Right, but how many people are like that, Hilly? Like, be honest about it. How many people like every mode of every game they've ever played? That's so contrary to everything we know about player behavior. If you played Call of Duty, you stayed in a couple of modes. Same with this game. Sven says, I hate it because it's usually a BS, use a stupid gun to get 3 headshots while doing backflips during a headstand. Right. Good. Remember that? You're like doing tricks. Remember that? Was that Wave Race, Derek? Good. Every time you like go off a ramp or something, it was like it had to give you that positive reinforcement for you can just stop. You can stop that now. I understand. I've hit the jump. I don't need to be told good every time. I don't mind all the modes in Halo. Butter says 75% of the games are crap. Prodemator. I would so much rather have fewer or harder challenges and focus on doing specific things than have more consistent XP gains. Right, but that's the thing. Like, the Wave Race 64. Good! It's like, I'm not trying to bash the game's game modes. That's not what I'm trying to do. No, it's rare. It's super rare for a player to like everything about a game. They have swaps for that, although they didn't work well in Season 1, but the idea is fine. Well, but the swaps give you another of a similar type, does it not? It's still going to give you a go into a game mode type thing. The point is, Hilly, the premise that you outlined was the weekly challenges create that one more game push, and I do not think that that is true. That's a super rare player. You're talking about a player that enjoys virtually the entire game, every mode, so those other challenges don't bother them. And they feel like after 5 or 6 games, it's worth continuing to play with diminishing each game XP. They're happy to get less XP each game, and they're going to make it up with these challenges. Like, I find that to be, like, very, very rare that someone is going to accept that someone is going to say, oh yes, I'm glad I have these challenges. One more game. Right? It's like, oh, win one more, whatever. I know you're incorrect because I played more games to complete them. Others will do. That doesn't make me incorrect. What you're saying is anecdotal. Everything that we know about player behavior in games like this, it stands to reason that the majority of the player base does not enjoy every game mode. Yes or no? Does the majority of the Halo Infinite player base enjoy all of the game modes? Yes or no? Does the majority? No, there's no way. It stands to reason that that's not true. They don't. And if that were true, then nobody would have complained about it. So the people complaining about it are what? The minority? I don't think so. If you play Call of Duty, if you play Halo, whatever you play, you gravitate towards a couple of game modes. You find a home base. You're not like, oh man, I love every single game mode. I remember when we did Call of Duty Clan Wars and Ghosts, and they made you go and play other game modes. It was so irritating because we weren't good at the other game modes. We never played them. Did you know they found this Easter egg in the game years later? In what may be the greatest discovery in modern gaming, a deeply hidden Easter egg has been found within the GameCube version of Wave Race Blue Storm. Yes, the game that was released in 2001. The code, which you can find after the jump, changes the announcer's voice to a guy who basically talks crap to you the whole time, along with changing the turbo sound to a little girl who says meow meow. Is that the best you could do? The announcer asks, before adding that you're a waste of time, pathetic, and weak. I need that. I need that in my life, bro. I need to be able to see that happening. I am 100. They 100%. Oh my gosh. They just gave relevancy to the topic. I'll have to look at that later. You hate CTF? Yeah, like, I think that's the thing, Hilly, that you need to see and other fans of Halo need to see. If you are happy and you love everything in the game and you think every element of that game is great, you should want them to hit a broader spectrum of player. Do you see? Like, if I loved playing Halo Infinite as much as some of you guys do, and I thought there was a value, like, you're inverting so much of what I'm saying as a negative into a positive. If I thought the same way as you, I still think I would say they need to hit a broader spectrum of player with the value. They need to hit a broader spectrum of player with the value, cadence, and the sense of progression. Why? Because if I love this game, I want way more people playing it. That will help it survive. That will help the matchmaking. That will help all sorts of things. Like, the entire game's health depends on having a healthy funnel of players. Confirmed. Lono wants an in-game announcer to talk crap to him in an Elden Ring boss fights. No, I didn't say that. I did not say that. If you're just tuning in, we're talking Halo Infinite news, the Season 2 community live stream. Smash that like button. We're right on the cusp of another like milestone. Order some coffee or become a member. We don't have any new members yet or any coffee orders yet. Come on, let's get it going. I miss Clan Wars, says Grizzly Johnson over on TikTok. The BR better be perfect with new mechanics and amazing maps so people can just keep on playing. Always here for Halo content. You know this. Thank you, Grim Brother. Call of Duty worked because it was a yearly release and you could rush the dopamine drip with leveling up a 10-year game. With leveling up. A 10-year game cannot replace it because the game itself is stretched to more than annually. They really need the way too positive Wave Race announcer to shout, good, good, every time you mess up. Like, make it like passively, yeah, like you're just passively trying to frustrate the player, you know? You fall down and die. Good! Is this game bugged? What the frick is wrong with this game? You're really close to beating the boss and you're down to the wire, like, I've almost got him. You die. Good. Melania chunks you. Good. Oh, that's perfect. That's perfect. What we need what we need is we need that sound file and we need to edit a whole mashup. We need to edit a whole mashup of me playing Elden Ring and dying and getting really angry, and that audio comes through. Like, it pops up, it's like, you died. And it's like, good! Oh my gosh. That would be such a great montage. Holy frick. Oh my word. Oh golly, that's perfect. That'd be such a good series. If every game was Wave Race. Die. You die in the game and it says good job. Oh man. Oh, that's so funny. I love it. I absolutely love that idea. If you're just tuning in, oh my gosh, we're way off base here. If you're just tuning in for Halo Infinite news, Halo Infinite news, we have been talking about how to fix the game. I outlined 5 ways they can fix Halo Infinite, trying to be positive, trying to say, hey, listen, they've got stuff here that could work. They really do. They've got stuff here that could work, but they've got to do some adjustments to things. Foundationally, I have argued that they need to shorten the seasons. I believe that everything is linked to that. I really and truly do. I think that the quality of the events, the quality of the battle pass, all of it is intrinsically linked to the length of the season. You got to increase value, cadence, you got to do all those things. 343 have no blanking clue what they're doing, says Gregosaurus Rex. You know, Greg, I don't necessarily think that they have no idea what they're doing. I think you could have said that back in 2019. I think so. Let me trot out a theory here. I think what we are doing right now is we are experiencing the real and genuine development cycle of Halo Infinite. So leading up to 2019, I believe they had terrible leadership. They had terrible decision making. They had no idea the identity of the game. They didn't know what they were doing. They bring in Joseph Staten. They strip the game down. They cut a bunch of stuff. Why? Because they want to deliver a minimum viable product. An MVP stands for minimum viable product. What's the least amount that we can build and get running here to deliver a product? And they delayed the game for a year, right? So that it could launch 2021, okay? I believe what we are getting now is we are getting a glimpse into the genuine development cycle of Halo Infinite. They are actually building Halo Infinite now. The real game, the game that we're going to play 2 or 3 years from now, is being built right now, and we're a part of it. You are quite literally a part of it. It's why everything's launching in beta. What do you think of the new armor cores in Season 2, says Grim Brother over on TikTok. I think they look fine. Like, I don't think that they were bad. I mean, again, it's subjective. There's people that could look at them and think they're terrible. There's people that could look at them and think they're great. It's all subjective to the user. 343 has a bad track record with Halo. Oh, I believe they have a bad track record as well. Omar says it's an incomplete game. That's the problem. You miss your parry, your summon dies, you're drinking a flask, boom, dead. Immediately. Good! Make it so obnoxiously loud. They're like rip their headphones off. Like, shut the fuck up, man! Shut up! Stop it. Stop. We have to stay on topic. That's so funny. 343 is missing a few gems, and they have a very good foundation. They just need to find that diamond in the rough. That's why I believe Mo and Hilly are all for it. The game can be amazing. It's up to 343. But to the Halo fans, standard is incomplete. To the Halo fans, standard, the standard is incomplete. Are you serious? That's every game after Halo, just saying. So Mo, what you're saying is that that's just the Halo fan standard. Is incomplete games. Only game I never want to end is Matanagi. That game just means too much to me. Make it say random things when you die in the game, right? Final Fantasy just added a new PvP mode, and the only way to communicate it in-game is via quick chat options. So whenever someone gets mad, they just spam "nice job" in the chat. That reminds me of the spam in Rocket League that people do. You know, good job, they just spam it. Gregosaurus Rex says, what was the deal with the video that played at the end of the Season 2 stream that they did? Yeah, I don't know what that was. Has anybody theorized what that is? It was like a weird, propaganda video or something. Yeah, that, Paul. What is that in reference to? It said, like, success. It was like downloading something, counting from 0 to 100, and then it said success. Are they just being goofy, or, you know, it blocked out some of the season pass? Really? So you think they have something? Were they just being silly? Like, oh, we're not letting you see the season pass? Or do you think more was going on there? That they're legitimately, you know, teasing something pretty major? You think it's the Battle Royale, Dr. Dinglenut? What do you think, chat? Is that video, you know, is that Battle Royale? I feel Halo will be fine, but it can get great with time. This is only the first year. Nah, it's not the BR, says Paul. It had to be something. Yeah, I don't think they were just blocking out the Battle Pass. Why would you go to all the trouble to make that video to be like, yeah, this is just our cute way of blocking the Battle Pass from being seen? I don't think so. I think there's more coming. I think it has something to do with the story or something, personally. My first thought was BR. Yeah, I thought when it was counting up to 100 that it might have been the BR, but I don't know. Yeah, they showed a counter going up to 100 and then it said download success, as in 100 players. I thought the same thing, but then it said download successful. I'm like, well, come on, that's a downloading bar. It blocked from 58 to 43, says Paul. What if the BR? What if it's a hang on? If it's a BR before this game is in a good spot, I will honestly lose all hope for it. Joe Staten even tweeted about it as if it was a tease. Offensive bias from the legendary ending. I don't know what that is. What are you referring to? 100 levels again, says Doom Reaper. As the first season event's name has something to do with... Oh, the first season event name has something to do with it, says Gregosaurus Rex. You think it's just tied to what they're doing with the story? Maybe you do game mode besides BR? That's what I feel. If you guys are enjoying the content, make sure and smash the like button. Hit subscribe so you can talk in the chat. And we love meeting new people. Every day we're doing a variety gaming talk show like this, and I am safe for work. If I'm not showing up in your recommended feed, always remember to check your subscription feed, and always remember to check your my channel. We are here every single day, Monday through Friday, doing multiple talk shows all about different gaming news, and we love to meet new folks. So thanks for being here this morning. Smashing like and being dope. A virus was uploaded to the mainframe and is now infecting Spartan AI chips. You try to remove it from and the Spartan dies. I wonder who would do such a thing. What's this tweet? Data transferring. Oh, yeah. It's a hint about that guy getting infected. Yeah. The guy at in the trailer, and they're like, pull the thing out. They're like, no, if you do that, he'll die. So that's basically what it is. That's them saying that, like, yeah, that's what that video is about. It's about the story. No, I agree with you. I don't think it has anything to do with BR. I think that's a better theory. Because they say in the story, they say in what do they call it? It's the Halo Infinite multiplayer story trailer, like whatever the frick. I put the name of it in the video description today because it was really long, and I thought the name of the actual trailer was very interesting. It's called the Halo Infinite Season 2 Lone Wolves Multiplayer Story Teaser Trailer. So that's a freaking mouthful. It's a multiplayer story teaser trailer, which is extremely interesting. And then they have a video of like an upload being successful, and they say the guy's infected with the virus, and if you pull the thing out, he'll die. Your Spartan is the wounded Spartan in the trailer, allegedly, says Greg. I mean, they showed a story teaser where a Spartan's unconscious and they can't remove his AI chip because it supposedly will kill him, and it's got important info. Maybe BR is revolving around the story of simulation? Right, maybe. Or maybe we have to go out and drop from the sky to... I don't know. It could be offensive bias, banished AI, or some other created, says Barrier. Matanagi says, offensive bias is an infamous Forerunner contender class AI that fought a rogue contender class AI named Mendicant Bias that went rogue and defected to the Flood side during the Forerunner Flood War. These classes of AI command entire fleets of Forerunner ships. He's confirmed to be making an in-game appearance sometime in the future. Man, it sounds like... I'm not trying to start this, but it sounds like Bungie stole so much of that and shoved that into the Warmind stuff in Destiny. Like, AIs that go rogue and fight against each other. That sounds so similar. It sounds like they just baked that right into Destiny. The books that explain that stuff are so cool, says King Salty. Certain Affinity is rumored to be working on the mode for 2 years now. Could be bigger than we think. I've actually said, Dr. Dinglenut, that I think Halo's Battle Royale could actually be successful, and that's one of the reasons why. I don't trust 343 with a Battle Royale. They need to focus on fixing the core game of Infinite. A zombie mode in Halo, says Red Rhino over on TikTok. I don't know about that. I don't know. Maybe the main story turns into a Battle Royale? They said that you're the one on the right. Well, the one on the right, that's what I was saying, Paul. They show those Spartans coming back from a fight. They're out in the field and they come back, and they're wearing the armor that you've seen in all of the Lone Wolves promotional materials. Like, that's what they're wearing. No more zombies, please, says M. Baker. To be fair, not a very novel concept. That's true. Maybe the main story turns into a Battle Royale. Maybe an operations mode like in Battlefield 1, a PvE campaign. I doubt the tease would be for an infection game. I don't think it's for an infection game. I don't think it's for a zombie mode, no. Zero Bias is on Zeta Halo and it's not him. Yeah, I'm glad that Certain Affinity is working on the Battle Royale. I'm not trying to be negative. I'm not. But I don't trust 343 with a new game mode. You got to focus on the task at hand. You got to focus on Halo Infinite before you start the actual core game of Halo Infinite. Before you start doing a Battle Royale. No matter what the state Starfield is in, come release, the media will not let this game fail. A former Bethesda employee leaked Starfield details. We need to save this for later. Oh, that's the article. Yeah. We'll be talking about that. We'll be talking about that in our second stream. Our second stream is about Starfield. I think it's the new flagship, but I'm concerned. So make sure and save your commentary and your thoughts on that for our second stream today. I think one of the reasons it's the flagship is because of everything we're talking about with Halo. Taking the armor that failed to keep your enemies alive and immediately putting it on, that's some dumb video game logic right there. Killing something and taking their armor. Game modes coming in Season 2. King of the Hill, Land Grab, Last Spartan Standing, Rumble Pit, Team Doubles, Social Skirmish, Social Slayer, Team Snipers, Ninja Slayer, Vampire Ball, Rocket Repulsors, and Attrition. No, it's not. Oh, no, I believe... I'm going to argue. I want to argue that, so argue with me in the second stream. That's not an employee. That person is a fake. We'll see. I think taking the weapons which failed is even more dumb, says Ant. Mr. Pineapple Gaming says, I believe you. 343 need to fix Halo before they start working on new things, but I think it might be like Spartan Ops with Season 2. I believe it when I see it, says Gregosaurus Rex. Yeah, the way I look at the way they're going to do story in Halo Infinite, what they're trying to do is, I think they want to tell a story with your Spartan. Do you know what I mean? I think they want to tell a story with your Spartan. That's the whole point. It's not about Master Chief anymore. I think that's the goal here. Think about the central piece of that trailer. What's the central piece? A Spartan's been infected. Spartans were out fighting. A Spartan is like arguing with the person, like, don't pull it out. You know what I mean? They're already shifting focus away from Master Chief in that trailer. It's like he's not even... is he even in it once? Is he even in it for a frame? Spartan Ops, please. Spartan Ops in Halo 4 was underrated, says Paul. Could get the Call of Duty devs to look and help Halo when they merge. Fresh eyes and take the help on it. I don't know. It's not even a merger. That's just Microsoft owning the property. That doesn't mean it would work for the Call of Duty guys to come over and assist. Also, you have to consider, like, the Battle Royale in Call of Duty is vastly different than what we get in, than what you're going to get in Halo. So, like, Reach? Maybe. I don't think Call of Duty is going to have anything to do with this franchise. I don't think that's Microsoft's goal at all with their Blizzard Activision purchase. The issue with telling the story with My Spartan is that Master Chief is still a thing, and Reach had this kind of problem. Master Chief is Halo to some people. Well, and they're moving away from that. Warzone lost 50 million players. I need to look into that more. I think that's such an easy thing to trot out that makes it seem like the game is in dire straits. The games are way too dissimilar. Yeah, I can't see a Halo Infinite Battle Royale benefiting from information from Call of Duty. I can't see it. I can't. Got it for you. What is that? Is that the good thing? Or is that what that sound file is? You're nuts. I'm not gonna do anything with that right now. I don't want to fiddle with my bitrate. Using your Spartan opens up what they can do a lot more. Save large campaign DLC for stories about the Chief and save multiplayer narrative for our Spartans, maybe, says Matty Jarvis. No, I'm telling you right now, they're sidelining Master Chief. Going forward, I don't think he's going to be a major player in the franchise. I think he's getting sidelined, and I think this season's the beginning of that. You're just going to start playing as your Spartan. Like, I don't even think they're going to draw attention to it. I don't think they're even going to draw attention to it. You're just going to boot up the game, and you're going to go jump in and do missions as your Spartan, and they're not going to say a word about it. Do you think Spartan campaign will lead to the normal campaign, like in co-op campaign, we play as a Spartan rather than another copy of Chief? They could make the second player play as a Spartan. I don't know. There's a couple approaches. Mo says, I said the same thing. He's going to slowly get retired. Master Chief been running around in that armor for 20 years. Dude's due for some time off. Sven says, we aren't seeing Chief until whatever next expansion comes out. Yeah, I would say that might be the big turning point for the game, is they'll do some big DLC, some big giant quality push, and you'll play one last time as Chief. You know what I mean? My music right now, the guitar solo sounding part, well, the name of the song is Revenge, so that's fitting. I will have my revenge. I'm just going to whet your appetite. I'm just going to whet your appetite for the members stream, guys. There's just a certain amount of satisfaction I get seeing people freak out about what the purple platform might do and feeling like they have nowhere to go. I take a certain amount of satisfaction from that. Come and try and make it on YouTube. I would love to see it. The do-do-do-do-do. We need that audio clip with you raging against a boss. Then you die right before winning. Then good. What if they make Master Chief like a text message thing in the game? Anyone can in as him to the players? What? I don't know what you're trying to say, Rockin' Robin. You can do what as him? You can join as him? They'll do massive drop pod and they'll retire Chief. Yeah, they'll just drop a drop pod on him and he'll die. I don't think we're losing Chief, but I don't think we're going to play as him that often unless it's a major story stuff. I still think they're going to turn him into an AI. They'll get him to do a bunch of lines, they'll get him to record a bunch of stuff, and they'll turn him into an AI. I think they're going to immortalize him in the game, but I think he gets put out to pasture. I think he gets put out to pasture as a character, personally. They'll do a massive drop pod. Oh, I already read that. Well, this combo is dropping right off the frickin' rails. When I'm double reading chat messages, we're not humming anymore. Let me think. What else did we talk about in this update? We talked about weaving PvP and PvE together, which we're kind of talking about now. We talked about adjusting the rhythm of progression. We talked about increasing the cadence of value. We talked about shortening the seasons. That's the foundational thing that needs to happen basically before everything else. I'm trying to think of anything else they covered in the stream that we haven't talked about or discussed yet. Do you think Halo will last the year? I don't think it's a question of it lasting or not. I think it's a question of, can they have a turning moment? I think Halo is one of those games that'll always be around. You know, they'll be updating it, adding stuff to it, doing seasonal content and everything else. I wonder what this means. A red carpet and unexpected guests. Right? I'd pay money to see Master Chief go out from a drop pod like a D2 blueberry. I mean, even back in the day in Halo Reach, they had Master Chief as a firefight voice for the character. Halo will last forever, says Mo. I don't know about that. No poll today. I don't like doing polls every single day because it's kind of in your face in the chat. I mean, unless we can think of a good one now, we gotta rub the paddles together on this one, or this one. This show's over. We gotta rub the paddles together. I don't know of a good poll question right now. For me personally, I will not be touching Halo until they fix how mouse and keyboard handles in the game. That's why I don't think the Battle Royale will be very popular on PC, Chest Pain. I don't think they can make the game feel good mouse and keyboard. I think too much of the game's been built for the ground up for controller. Yeah, I don't think it will ever feel good on mouse and keyboard. I don't think it's a goal or a priority of theirs to do that. I think too many foundational things will happen. Here's the poll. Will 343 retire Chief? I mean, I guess we could do that. Halo Infinite. Will Master Chief retire from the series at some point? Will Master Chief retire from the series at some point? Let's see if we can't rub the paddles together and get this stream turned around, because right now it's looking like we got to bail to Starfield and start talking about Starfield and launch the second stream. We've decided that once the stream just stops and the chat's kind of like not on the subject anymore, especially after an hour, we're not going to drag it out. So let's see if we can't get a new convo started here. Will Master Chief retire from the series at some point? Do you think that is coming? I think it's coming sooner than later, to be quite honest. I think it's coming sooner than later. He is human after all. Yeah, how did he survive in the suit all those years? They just like running on some dormant life support system? Ultimately, I love playing Halo Infinite. I played all day just to get a stupid black visor. So when they get their crap together, the game is going to be gold. But it's not going to be there for years, says Greg. Khaled says, absolutely yes, and it will be sooner than later. Master Chief Collection felt good with mouse and keyboard, in my opinion. I don't know how they could mess it up so badly. It's the new engine, man. I don't know. It's got to be things they did with the new engine. The events of Halo are pretty close together, though, says Sven. I'm not sure what you're referring to. The suit is a life support system. You're still working on the visor, says Mr. Glum. Mo says, if he dies, what do you think the core Halo fan base will do? Will there be a riot? You know, I don't know. Like, I don't know. Because for me, it's like, you can't keep holding on to it. Over here on TikTok, Behemoth says yes. Grizzly Johnson says yes, he will be retired. It's really, really hard, I think, as a fan of Halo to be like, no, he needs to stay around for forever. I don't know. I feel like you can't say that. I feel like at some point you've got to let him go. The game has to be about something else. If you were only releasing a new Halo every couple of years, primarily focused on campaign, well, then I guess you would just go until the voice actor or someone who can do the voice comes along. You'd go until the voice actor, is no longer with us and be like, well, yeah, now we need somebody else. But that's not how they're driving the game at this point. I like your idea of him becoming an AI. It takes him out of the main focus of the game to move forward, but keep him in the game for the fans. It can't be about Chief for forever, says Mike. That's what I'm saying. Eventually, you just have to move on from him. I don't think the game's even about him anymore, really. It really isn't about him. Like, if you look at all the promotional material, if you look at all the trailers for Halo Infinite, it's not about Master Chief. He's in there, but it doesn't seem like it's about him. It seems like it's about the Spartans. There's been more focus on the Spartans since the beginning of the marketing campaign for Halo Infinite. That's how it's felt. They keep Mr. God of War around for every game when he is getting retired. When is he getting retired? Oh, I think God of War Ragnarok is the beginning of him retiring. Like, yeah, this is Kratos. I think this is the last game where Kratos is the main character the whole time. I think Ragnarok's going to lead to a game where you don't play as Kratos the whole time. Either that or this is the last game where you play as Kratos. It's one or the other. Yo, what's good, Toshibo? M. Baker says, I don't know if he will retire, but wouldn't be surprised if he's killed off. Yeah, I think killing him off would probably invoke a whole lot of ire. I think having him sort of calmly retire is different than killing him off. Personally. You know what I mean? Like, I don't know. I feel like I don't feel like they're gonna just kill him off. I feel like that's what would tick people off. I think it's one thing to say, oh, hey, you know, he's no longer really the main character. He's no longer, the player or whatever. He's no longer who you play as. But I think killing him off would invoke more frustration than just having him retire. Like, there's a difference between saying that, this guy's no longer, the one that you play as. This guy's no longer center stage for the franchise. That's not the same as killing him. He calmly retires to the villages in Florida. The villages. Yeah, that's where he goes. They'll probably make him into an NPC or something, says Mike. Nah, don't kill him off. That would definitely kill Halo. I think they'll try and then almost immediately bring him back. No way to kill Master Chief. Not a good way to deal with Chief. Make him the villain? I don't think so. Wouldn't the OG Halo fans feel like something major is missing if they retired him, though? I don't know. Maybe. You're not even playing as him when you play PvP, though. So what are we even talking about? You know what I mean? After everything he survived, it wouldn't make sense to just kill him off. It would be forced an obvious attempt at shock factor. He wasn't in most the game, and they flipped out with Halo 5. Oh, for sure. Well, I think some of that's the key, right? Is that he was there, but not enough. If they sideline him and we're doing everything as our Spartan, that's kind of a different feel. I don't think they will retire him until they finish the new storyline, though, says Sven. They aren't going to retire him before that's wrapped up. Yeah, but I guess we need to define what do we mean by retire him. It doesn't even look like you're going to play as him in the new story. He's going to retire to Canada. He needs the universal health care. That's right. People act like Halo Reach it and literally throw you into Halo's universe with no mention of Chief whatsoever, says Greg. Halo Reach is the answer here. You don't need him to make a great Halo game. Yeah, both Hilly and Gregosaurus Rex are saying the same thing. Yeah, they're both saying the same thing. I gotta schedule the next stream, man. YouTube is just making it really, really hard to be a live streamer right now. They're making it really, really tough. I don't know what they're doing, but we can't seem to catch a break. It seemed like they fixed stuff, and now it seems like we're back in a terrible spot again, where I just have to cut topics short because we just die, and it's just not a good decision to just keep going. We gotta shuffle to next topics when this happens. It's unfortunate, but I gotta play according to whatever they're doing. I don't know what they're doing. We're still sort of in the dark at this point, but we are still sort of in the dark at this point. It ends with him taking out Atriox. I take retirement as no longer the main character. He'll be supporting through dialogue. That's what I mean. Like when I say retirement, you could also say sidelined. Seems this talk's going well. I don't know what they're doing. Like this is the thing. You guys show up and are amazing, and the conversation's wonderful, and YouTube's like, frick you. They don't put us anywhere. Like, I don't know what's going on. We the first 30 minutes we were right where we needed to be, and we were meeting tons of new people and got a bunch of new subs, and then I don't know, we get 45 minutes in, and then they just kick us to the curb, and it's like, so if I stream for another hour and a half, it's a fundamental bad decision. Like, they're making it hard to be a live streamer. It's like, am I supposed to stream in 45-minute snippets? That's a terrible way to stream. Like, you guys are coming and supporting and are amazing. This has nothing to do with our sub base. This has nothing to do with our community or the channel. It's freaking YouTube, man. I just don't know what they're doing. So we have to do that, and it's unfortunate because we have to then cut. You know what I mean? No. It's not you guys not joining the convo, Mr. Glum. That's not what I'm talking about. I'm looking on the back end, and I can tell when YouTube just kicks us to the curb. And you guys are being great. The convo has been amazing. We've had great back and forth. The chat's constantly moving. I haven't not once felt like you guys weren't interested. I thought today was a very productive discussion. Is there anybody you can talk to YouTube about this? I'm still not getting notified when you're live. I have to search for the channel myself. I mean, I can tell they're still doing stuff because on some days we just get shot out of a cannon. Everything's great. And then the second stream, it's like we don't exist. It's super weird. I think they're fiddling with stuff. We're just having to we're just going to have to kind of ride it. There's just nothing we can do. I've not had a Reforge notification in a few days. I had a I have a rep, and I mean, they don't know anything. Like, that's not an insult. They don't know anything. They're not a technician. They're not an engineer. So we got no answers. We got no help. When we turned to our contact. So, yeah. Unfortunately, those people don't know what's going on. They can offer like tips and insight that you can benefit from. So, I'm not even upset. It's just the call that we have to make. You know what I mean? It's just the call that we have to make. Like, we unfortunately don't have a choice in the matter. I can mow it up. We want me to get them going? That's not the issue. Like, I have not once felt like this week, I have not once felt like the conversations have been lacking or weak or that chat was dead. I have not once felt that. I felt the opposite. We are doing everything right. Like, we're coming together, we're having productive conversations, we're having spicy debates, like everything, you know what I mean? It's really to the point where I just automatically search Reforge at 850. Yeah. There's going to be an Xbox Games and Bethesda show. You going to stream this? Oh, I'm sure we will. On June 12th? Yeah, we will 100% be doing that. Yeah, that's a Sunday, but I'll have to figure it out. That's a Sunday at 1 p.m. Eastern. Yeah, we'll definitely be doing that. Does the internet not care about Halo anymore? I don't know. I mean, I don't think it's Halo. It's YouTube. We've had this issue all week. It doesn't matter what we cover. This is not a topic situation. This is not a Halo situation. Look at how many people are here. We got into the low 300s, high 200s just talking Halo in the next season. Well, I mean, clearly that's a sign that people care, but that's not YouTube doing that. That's you guys doing that. So, it's not a topic thing. I promise you. We've not been talking about it, but I have to put it on your radar so you understand what we're doing when we jump from one live stream to the next really, really quickly. Like, it's just the nature of the business that we have to do right now. The different topics hurts it being able to aggregate your channel to others. No. Don't start theorizing about trying to solve it. We ran double talk show variety game coverage all of December and January, and we freaking crushed it. You're not going to solve it by being like, well, it's your channel or you're covering too many. No, absolutely freaking not. No, we absolutely crushed it in December and January. Nothing but variety coverage and double talk show every day. That is not it. YouTube is messing with stuff, and it is having very, very random effects on the platform. And I looked last night. Plenty of people are covering this. It's not the topic. It's not Halo Infinite Season 2 that nobody cares. There was plenty of dudes doing videos and breakdowns and discussions that were doing just fine. And historically speaking, every time we picked up Halo right after they did an announcement, we would do absolutely wonderful. You know? So that's not the issue. This is nice from the Battle Pass. Yeah, it feels like the theme of the armor for Season 2 is very, like, militaristic. They're trying to make everything look very military. Like, you know what I mean? Like, again, I think that's probably related to the Spartans and going out. You know what I mean? We rocked the low 500 back then. Yeah, it didn't matter what we did. Every time you do Elden Ring takes off, you think the YouTube algorithm made you an Elden Ring channel? No, that's not even true. We did Elden Ring yesterday, and it didn't go well for us. It didn't go well for us. 2 weeks ago, they flipped a switch, and we're sort of on a reset. It doesn't matter if I cover Elden Ring. It doesn't matter what I do. It has nothing to do with the topic. I'll finish the pass. I want the Elite Skull, says Mo. YouTube said, talk about retiring the chief, we'll retire you. Yeah. So what they're doing is they're messing around with discoverability of live streams. So sometimes we're getting great treatment. For the first 45 minutes today, I could tell we were getting good treatment. I could sense it. And then all of a sudden, we hit like the 46th minute, and it was like, boom, nothing. We just come to a dead stop. No new people coming in. The viewership just hits a wall and just dead stops. So I think what they're doing is they're experimenting with where they're putting us, how long they're putting us there, click rate, stick and click, like are people clicking and sticking? They're measuring all that data. So it's an ever moving target. You know what I mean? So if they change the algorithm or something, it needs to settle again. Yeah, I think they re-index. They change how search works. We've got some new features in the back end, but some channels don't have the features, and it seems like when you don't have the features, your channel gets kind of messed up and has to kind of reacclimate itself to how everything is functioning. Because we didn't have that one feature, and then all of a sudden we got it, and the next day everything felt like it was better, but it still is hit or miss. Like one stream will do fine, and the next stream it's like we covered a brand new patch for Elden Ring, and the video didn't do that well at all. And some other guy that like covers all kinds of games, his video crushed, and it's like we covered Elden Ring for months and got great results. So it's not that we're randomly dipping into something weird. Like all of a sudden I tried to talk about a Final Fantasy patch. Do you know what I mean? Have you considered sacrificing chickens? How's radio doing? I mean, radio's a mess. I don't even look at radio. Radio's a dadgum mess. We just go over there and have fun and talk about conversations that interest me. I don't even care. It's like we can't look at the numbers over there. That channel's a dadgum mess. Did you notice that some of the armor in the Battle Pass changes with the color coding? Like the elite shoulders, not the skull ones, from their armor? Wait, so you put an armor coating on it and it changes the physicality of the armor? Is that what you mean? I'm going to schedule this for 11. Yeah, radio's a long total reset project. Yeah, it's going to be a year before we see anything promising over there. You know what I mean? It's going to be about a year. It's just going to take a really long time for it to turn. And to be quite honest, we have to really establish what the identity of that channel is. Because right now, it's sort of shaping and forming an identity that presently is just hard to quantify. It's like, what's this channel about? What's the point of the channel? What's the purpose? And that's just going to take time. You know, we went from a single game to variety games to esports news and shoutcasting to now like cultural and political topics. How long did it take you to hit 47K on radio, but you're already at 14K on gaming? How long compared to radio? I don't know. I didn't track any of that when I made the YouTube channel back in the day. It comes in spurts, right? Because that channel was riding a lot of what happened with Destiny. Lono's riding the front of the wave for live streaming on YouTube. Fortunately and unfortunately, he's a streamer guinea pig. Well, and unfortunately, they're making a lot of changes that are geared towards guys that are the dock size. So they're making a lot of changes to how live streams are positioned and placed on the website, and it has nothing to do with people that are not absolute leviathans. So they're going to run the risk of doing exactly what the purple platform did. They're going to make everything for the big guys, and you're going to become top heavy, and all the little guys are going to feel like, this is absolutely pointless. Why am I streaming on your platform? So they have to be very careful not to become top heavy. Because right now, all the changes they're making feel 100% catered to Doc and the big boys, which is a huge mistake long term. It's a huge mistake long term. You need to have a very healthy discoverability algorithm for everybody. That is quite literally why Purple's in an absolute spiral and looking at doing all sorts of things to make up the revenue. They're in a loss spiral, and that's why. Discussions are always great, but to say that our opinion's not valid without discussions are not good. When have I done that? I mean, to be quite honest, Jacob, you're really hard to understand sometimes. So if you've ever felt like I've dismissed you, you type in broken sentences and with typos many times. And if I glide over what you're saying and just keep moving, that's not me ignoring your opinion or saying it's not valid. I have struggled numerous times yesterday and today to even have a clue as to what you're saying. Like, I can't go on an investigative like research project every time you decide to trot out your opinion. Like, you've been very difficult to understand recently. Do you think the issue with YouTube is caused by Bungie getting YouTube into trouble for false copyright claims? No, those are completely unrelated. People abusing that system and that thing and all of that has nothing to do with what's going on. No. I was on a call with YouTube about this a couple of months ago. So they're experimenting with live stream discoverability, and they're absolutely breaking the fundamentals of discoverability. Like, that's what's happening. For months, we could do no wrong. It didn't matter what we talked about, as long as it was reasonably relevant and new, and a mainstay game or something that had been recently announced. We did fine. Now, it's like I said, it's hit or miss. For 45 minutes, we're meeting new folks. We got new subs, and then all of a sudden, I'm like, it's like we are literally invisible on the platform. We're invisible right now. So it's, there's nothing we can do. We just have to make those calls. That's why we have to jump. We have to jump through these hoops of just going to the next subject and going to the next thing. Like right now, if I search Halo Infinite News incognito, we're in the search funnel. We're 4 or 5 down. So again, it could quite literally be that the interest is just dropping off. I clicked on the Halo Infinite live stream, and we're one of the 3rd down suggested lives. We're right next to it. So I don't know what's going on. This one could be topic. It might not be anybody's. It might not be YouTube. Any other YouTubers benefiting from the recent changes? There's not a lot of live streamers to pay attention to. One of the things that a lot of YouTubers do is they have very, very gigantic channels where they upload and they live stream every once in a while. And if you pay attention to their live streams, they do very poorly, and that's because they're primarily an upload channel. So there's not really a good test case to pay attention to, other than like guys like Doc and stuff. So. This one might be topic. This one might not be on YouTube. I feel like YouTube has made some adjustments, and we've benefited from those adjustments this week. I just checked incognito, and we're getting good ranking. So this one 100% could just be that interest is dropping. There was only about 8,000 people peaked watching the Halo Infinite live stream yesterday. So this one might not be on YouTube. And listen, that's going to happen. You guys got to know, that's not me being sour. That's just going to happen in this industry. I'm going to pick a topic and a subject, and we're going to strike out on it like no one's going to give a frick about it. And we're just going to have to move on when that happens. And that's, you know, there's no harm in that. I don't take that personal. It's like, hey, man, you know, interest is low on that one. All right, let's go to the next thing. You know, there's nothing wrong with that. We're just trying to be more agile. The next topic is Starfield. I'm going to argue that I think it's Microsoft's next big flagship. I think it's the flagship of Microsoft. I don't understand. Your content's unique. It should be taking off. Danzatastic, I think it will when all this settles down. To be quite honest, I think what we saw in December and January, I don't think that was anomalous. I think what we saw in December and January is that there are lots of people on YouTube looking for live streams. If only you could accurately tell if it's a topic or something else. Well, when I check incognito, Eugene, and we're 4th down on search results, and we're 3rd down on the official Halo livestream VOD, we're like 3rd down on suggested videos. It's not YouTube. It's the topic. No one's watching and clicking. That's the problem. If that Halo livestream VOD right now was humming with activity, and everybody was watching it, we would be fine. We would be getting a ton of people. But the problem is, like I said, there was like 8,000 maybe at most. At most, there was 8,000 people. So sometimes you can tell. You can like go and tell. You're like, oh no, we're showing up in search and suggest. Right? We're just showing up in search and suggest. It must just be a dry topic. Interest must be low. And that's totally fine. Like again, that is not going to that's not going to upset or bother me. You know, right now we're pulling off of multiple Halo Infinite Season 2 Battle Pass streams, like our videos, I'm sorry, and a Dying Light video and a Death Stranding video. So it's fine. We're actually not getting terrible treatment this morning. It's just this is a topic one. Then that's fine. If I Google the word gaming, it comes up with stories about the Ubisoft turning off servers for 90 games. Sadly, we jumped on a Ubisoft story a little early this week. We already kind of covered Ubisoft. We said we don't know what's happening over there. Because we were like, what's going on? Their stocks were up and down. Are they getting bought out? They just launched Project Q, and then a day later, they shut off like 90 game servers or whatever. Starfield will be amazing, no doubt. Will he change his avatar to Starfield? Yeah, we already covered Ubi. I think we were just a day early. We were a day early. Making a suggestion? Oh, no, you have to understand, Danza. We are constantly monitoring gaming news funnels. We're doing everything we can to make sure, like, is this good? Is this a good topic? Like, there's rumors and leaks that we just won't cover because I'm like, I don't feel like that's substantive enough. And so we pass on some stories for sure. Can't believe we live in a timeline where Halo is an anchor. We don't even know how Starfield looks, says Jeff, or plays. Like, this faith in Bethesda after Fallout 76 is misguided. I'm not saying it's going to be amazing. So the next stream, I'm just whetting your appetite for the next stream. So you need to come ready to disagree, debate, or agree with me. I am saying that Microsoft is positioning it to be their next big flagship title. I think it's I think it is the flagship title for Microsoft. Not covering Warframe or Apex updates? No. Well, let me explain something to you guys. What we try to do here is foster conversation, discussion, and debate driven by opinion, like my opinion. I'm not going to sit here and be a news reporter. You know what I mean? Hey guys, there's a new Apex update, and I read the update to you. Well, what are we supposed to do after that? Do you see what I'm saying? The substance that we bring, the value that we bring, is a really, really great community of people just discussing what's happening, and the only way that discussion is going to be spurred on if there's opinion. I'm not going to be able to give you a strong opinion on an Apex update or a Warframe update. So there's just if you ever wonder why we don't cover certain things, maybe we should try and say that more regularly. Like, we try and pick topics that I can have an opinion on so we can have a great talk show and discussion. We can't have a great talk show and discussion if I'm talking about some game I have zero opinion on. I'm like, this looks cool, and that's kind of the end of it. To be fair, they could have dropped 76, walked away, but they did put in the effort and fix it. I have some faith for Starfield. I think that's actually a fair thing to say about Fallout 76. I don't want to talk about Starfield yet. You got to give a few minutes before we go over there. I actually think that Starfield has nothing to do with 76. But when you look at 76, I do think it's fair to say, hey man, they put in the work. They've really turned the game around, and they could have totally wiped their hands of that. Lono in a suit behind a news desk as an anchor sounds funny to me, or sounds fun to me. We've always considered what that would look like, but I think you have to earn that. You have to earn that. You have to get to the point where you can just boot up and say, hey guys, here's 4 gaming news topics. And I just brattle them off, and we just talk about whatever we feel like. Yeah, that's like end of next year. We get to end of 2023, my hope would be we can do that. Right now, we can't do that. We're close to it on updates. Oh, doing like those 8-minute vids we talked about? Yeah, I think so. I think once updates hits 10K, we could just start doing that. I think so. I think you'll have a big enough, sub base to do that. So, like, I just want you guys to know, like, I'm not ignoring gaming news because of, like, I'm like, oh, I don't like that game or I don't want to talk about that. Currently, we are in a phase of we got to pick what I'm most interested in, what I can have a strong opinion about, and then we spin the chat up and we go. And that's inviting to other people. That's great television, right? You guys listen to me on in the background of your day. Well, one of the reasons that you do that is because it's something I can talk about at length. I can't talk about certain things at length. But in a year, imagine I sit down and I'm like, hey guys, this is in gaming news today. Yesterday, this was announced. Yesterday, this was announced. Apparently, Jedi Fallen Order 2 is going to be next gen only. Well, I can't talk for 2 hours about that. But that can be a bullet point in a list of stories that we talk about for a few moments or 10 minutes or something. Do you see what I mean? Like, I think we'll get to that point one day. I really do. I really, really do. But at the moment, we're just not in a position to do that. Like, you got to have reach to do that, and we're getting there. We've doubled the stream sub count in just a matter of 6 months. So, let's just keep going and earn the right to do those things. I think we will. And currently, we just have to be really agile and really, really adaptive. Like, okay, this topic didn't hit, on to the next topic, right? Okay, YouTube's acting kind of weird. We don't know what's going on. People can't find us today. Boom, let's just move on to the next thing. It's still under the Bethesda banner. This other team argument is irrelevant. Oh, people saying like Starfield's a different team? Yeah. It's not relevant at all. Starfield team is main Elder Scrolls and main Fallout team pedigree. Oh, do you have an article that outlines that, Mo? Is that true? We could add that to the discussion in the next stream. Is that true that the Starfield team is a significantly different group of people than the Fallout 76 team? So is Doom, Prey, and Wolfenstein? Because I know they said that Elder Scrolls is basically on hold until Starfield's done, because that's the people that are going to have work on it. You know what I mean? I think you have enough reach with your loyal base to do things like that and still have engaging conversations. I'll tell you what we're going to do, Gamer Plays. Once we feel like the website has calmed down a little bit, we actually do want to do like a show every once in a while, maybe every other day or something, where we literally have like 3 or 4 topics instead of one, just to see. Right now, we cannot experiment with anything because YouTube is still messing around with stuff. So we kind of need the dust to settle, and then we'll experiment with that. Because we experimented with that a couple of weeks, like about a week or two ago, and it was like we couldn't tell if it worked or not because YouTube was acting so goofy. But I love the idea. I do. I want to give you shows like that. I have a desire for that. I think there's a place for that. It's just right now we can't experiment with it because YouTube is being super squirrely. We got a coffee order from Sinit. 2 bags of light roast from Sinit. Thank you, Sinit. First coffee order of the day. We still haven't gotten our first member of the day. Guys, remember, if we get 40 members before the end of this month, which is today and tomorrow, my wife will have to play Elden Ring during one of the members-only streams. But you're running out of time to hit that. When we get gifted memberships, we're going to have fun incentives every month for that, I think. You know, there's the Bethesda dev teams, and then there's Bethesda the publisher, says Eugene. I'm just curious which team worked on 76. It is relevant, says Jeff. Even Bethesda, as a publisher, has flopped in recent years. Flops like Wolfenstein Youngblood, Rage 2, they have bombed. Well, I think you can include that in the discussion that we're about to have. We're about to shift gears over to that. You know, we're about to shift over to that. Let me get my outline pulled up here. Starfield is the next Xbox flagship. That's what I think. That's what I think. I'm gonna get everything ready, and I'm gonna take a quick break to so we can jump into the next one. Yeah, I actually think today, you guys, this was actually stellar. Like, if we bring this up, I want you to know, I'm not bringing this up in like a sour way to like complain. I just want you to know what in the world's going on. Instead of doing these super long 3-hour streams where we talk and talk and talk and jump to the next, we just can't do that right now. We got to keep some of these streams shorter because of what the platform's doing. Unfortunately, it's just we don't have the luxury of ignoring reality. We just don't have that luxury. Which means you might get more gameplay, right? We're going to try to have fallback gameplay to always fall back on, right? So the good news is on the days where we do this, you might end up just getting more content. Like, one talk show might be shorter, but then we move to the next topic, and maybe that one's shorter. Maybe it doesn't hit. And then we want to have gameplay as a fallback. So the good news for you is you might end up with more content. Now, if you want a talk show from noon all the way to 3, and you don't get that because of this, you know, unfortunately, some of these things we're having to do, that's unfortunate. But again, we're having to kind of play according to what's happening right now. Think of it like a board game, right? You have to adjust your strategy sometimes and do things that you ordinarily wouldn't do because of what's playing out in the game. And right now, what's playing out on YouTube is we're like, okay, we got to go. We got to bail on this. Okay, this one was weak. This one wasn't good. This one didn't hit. This one hit. You guys were awesome. I thought the first hour of the show was stellar. Great conversation, highlighting how they can fix Halo Infinite, highlighting what you think's going to happen with the story, with Master Chief and everything else. But the audience, the YouTube audience, is just like, no. Like I said, they only had about 8,000 people watching the Halo stream yesterday. That's not a lot of people. That's not a lot of people, okay? So this has nothing to do with you or YouTube or anything. This just has to do with, I think until the season hits and the quality starts cranking out, the interest will just be a little bit low. So, Starfield had some gameplay already? No, they've not shown any gameplay, Mo. No. They have shown in-engine footage. I have not found a single instance of gameplay. There's no gameplay at all, brother. There is in-engine capture. That's not the same as gameplay. So, all right. Hey, you folks on TikTok, I'll be right back. Keep smashing the like button. And we're going to come back and we're going to be talking about Starfield. You guys on YouTube, don't go anywhere. Smash the like button. And I'm going to hit some ads. We actually only need 27 more likes for 300 likes. We're still scrappy on the likes. You know what I mean? We're still scrappy on the likes. So, I'll be right back. You might see some ads. Consider doing a membership, a coffee order, or a t-shirt. You can use those commands and links below. I'll be right back. It was capture. We covered it. Was gameplay. Creature says, I'm argued out for the week. It was gameplay. The first trailer was in-engine capture. Yeah, it's all been in-engine capture. They, like, Mo, I think you have to understand something. When they specify and say something is captured in-engine, that is them saying this isn't gameplay. Like, you have to understand, like, they use these terms. These terms and things they're actually very important. Like, they say in-engine capture for a reason, because they're basically saying this is not a gameplay. When it's gameplay, they say this is gameplay. Halo members game night when season 2 drops. Yeah, maybe. That'd be a really good reason to, really good member driver. This week, my wife and I are going to be able to play that new Nintendo Switch sports game. It's going to be hysterical. Have you guys seen that game? If you guys aren't a member, you're going to miss out, man. Friday night's going to be hilarious. I already can feel it. It's going to be fantastic. Talking about the robot being a snippet of gameplay, not in the actual trailer. Homie, that wasn't gameplay. Oh my gosh. Mo, bring this over to the next stream, because it'll be great. Just come on, man. Oh my lands. Do I have the Starfield thing? I do. All right. Hey, thanks for clicking on the video. This is going to be another episode of Reforge Gaming News, and in this episode, we're talking about Starfield. I've got news, I've got leaks. I want to argue that this is the new Xbox flagship. I've got reasons for that. There are some leaks and some bad things we're hearing about the engine and the game. We're taking some of that with a grain of salt, though, and we wanted to really make the case for this, because this is also in light of something that we covered just this morning. Halo Infinite Season 2, just not looking to be what everybody was hoping for, while there is some good things there. We talked about what they need to do to save Halo Infinite, and I do believe that baton